Hello, my name's Callum, and today I'm going to be talking to you about EQs, the different types of EQs, and how I've used the EQ in Logic to take away certain frequencies that I really don't like, that really don't sound nice. So let's start off with the EQ in Logic is a parametric EQ. You've got other types of EQs like semi-parametric and graphic EQs. The one in Logic is a parametric EQ. So basically, it's an EQ that it can boost and gain certain frequencies. You can change the bandwidth on certain frequencies, and you have a much wider range of spectrum by changing them especially with the bandwidth. So what I'm going to do is I've opened up the EQ on my bass channel, and I'm just going to play you the bass. And as we can see, so especially on the higher range of the frequency, I think I've already got it raised up. So let's just move this around and see what we can hear that we don't like. So straight away I can hear the frequency. It's on 300 hertz. The bandwidth is on 32, and decibel is all the way up to 24, plus 24, and I don't like that at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change around with the bandwidth, see if I can make it thinner. It's still there, so making it bigger, it still is there, so we'll leave it there. What we do is we're just going to totally just drop the whole frequency to minus 24, and we'll see what happens. And right there, straight away, we can't hear the annoying sort of groany, moany sound that was in the baseline frequency. So I've totally removed that, and now you can't hear it, and the baseline is much more cleaner, it's much more crisper, but it's just, we didn't want that frequency. The frequency wasn't needed, so we've just totally removed it. Probably one of the benefits, like I said before or earlier, the parametric EQ, you can choose how wide, you want your bandwidth. So like just showing you here, I can make it really thin, or I can make it really fat. But obviously I want it probably about there, because that's where the frequency I didn't want was. So other EQs that you can use, or that we use in the music industry, are obviously semi-parametric EQs, which are basically exactly the same as parametric EQs, except you don't have any control over the bandwidth. There's no control, so there's just some features removed, which is mainly the bandwidth control. Graphic equalizers, they're more used commonly in live sound, so a lot of people tend to find them a bit more easier to use, because each bandwidth, or each frequency has its own basically has its own sort of level adjustment. So what you can do is adjust each frequency to how you want, so you have a much wider ranges of frequencies to change around. But one of the downsides is obviously you don't have the control over the bandwidth. It's just a set bandwidth control. But if there's a certain frequency you don't like, you can remove it. But visually, it's a much more easier EQ to understand, because literally you can look at the line of your music, of the musical range, and you can straight away notice what the frequencies that you're hearing, and certain things. But if you want to lower certain frequencies down, you can do that straight away. That's a benefit, especially with the graphic equalizer. But in Logic, using the parametric equalizer is just as good. So moving that frequency is benefited without a doubt, because now we can't hear it. It was just annoying, especially when it was up. I don't know why it was up, but yeah. So yeah, that's just a quick little insider and on the three sort of main EQs that we use in music today, in recording and live sound.